Scott Bakken with HHA Sports, and in this video we're going to show you how to set up and install your new Virtus Arrow Rest. We're at our local archery shop, which is preferred that you purchase your rest from your local shop and have them install it. Otherwise, this video will show you the how-tos of how to set up your new Virtus Arrow Rest. So the first step for mounting your Virtus rest to your bow is to actually bolt the rest to the bow, either using a flathead socket screw or a button cap screw, depending on what rest you're using. So if you're using a Matthews rest, you're going to use the flathead socket, and if you're using the universal standard rest, you're going to use the button cap. Today, because we're mounting our rest to a Matthews bow, we're using the Matthews version of the Virtus. So we're going to use a 3/16 inch Allen wrench, and we're literally just going to screw the rest through the burger button hole and mount it tightly. So just cinch it down so it's tight, and you'll see, because this is a Matthews version rest, it sits nice and flush with the back of the riser. Now that we have the rest bolted to the bow, the second step is setting the elevation or the up and down of the rest. So when you're doing this, ideally this kind of goes in sync with setting your knock point. So you're going to actually kind of do this all in one step. But since we already have our knock point set on this particular bow, we're going to nock an arrow and just ensure that the arrow goes through the center of the burger button hole. So this would be like the center shot or the center of the bow itself. So in this case, we're slightly high, meaning that the arrow is just going through the top of the burger button hole, which is the same hole that the rest gets bolted onto. So to adjust that, we're going to use a 9/64 Allen wrench, and we're just going to come on the side of the rest and just drop it down slightly. So now this will ensure again that the arrow's going through the center of the burger button hole or the center shot of the bow. So in step 3, we're going to set the windage of our rest, which is the left and right. And when we do this, we're setting up the rest so that the arrow and the string and the rest, they all go through the center of our bow grip. So that would be the center shot. Now some bows may be a little left of center or a little right of center, but for starters we're going to make sure that everything goes through the center of the grip. So when I stand back and I line up my string with the center of my grip, the arrow shaft should be right in line with everything, or the string should be going through the center of the arrow shaft. And when I do that, right now the arrow is slightly right of center. So to adjust this, the adjustments on the top of the rest here, I'm going to take a 9/64 Allen wrench or the Allen wrench key that comes with the rest. Depending on what bow you're setting this up, you may have some interference with your cable guard, so that's why we give you the provided Allen wrench key. But for this situation, I can get an Allen wrench in here. So I'm just going to loosen the set screw. And like I said, I'm a little right of center, so I'm going to move my rest to the left. And there's witness marks here, so I know exactly how far I'm moving it. Tighten it down. I'm going to realign everything. And now when I line up my string with the center of my grip, the string is going right through the center of the arrow. So right now my rest is center shot to where everything's in line and going through the center of the grip. In step 4, we're actually going to attach the timing cord to the downward cable. And you can do this by using the provided 2-piece football clamp, or a more permanent way is to actually serve the cord into the downward cable. So if you have a bow press at home, you can split the cable and thread the timing cord through it and then serve this in. And like I said, that's a permanent way of doing it, but for ease of installation, we're going to use the provided football clamp. And when you look at the football clamp, there's actually 2 grooves. There's a smooth groove and a rigid groove. The rigid groove goes on the downward cable side, and the smooth groove is where the timing cord will go through. So if you just take the one side, align it on the downward cable, and then put your timing cord in the other side, and then attach the 2 pieces, and then tighten the set screw. You don't need to over tighten it, but just tight enough to where everything's held together. And you'll see that where we attach this on the downward cable, it's actually in line with the bottom of the grip. So that's a good starting point where it provides adequate timing cord to where the rest will fall, but not too fast, but it'll still give you a decent amount of guidance for the arrow. So like I said, right now we're at the bottom of the timing, or at the bottom of the grip. In the fifth and final step of setting up your Vertus rest, we're going to set the point where the rest is fully engaged. So this is a capture style fall away, meaning that you can actually pick the rest up yourself, but you still have to set when it is fully cocked or fully engaged. And when it's fully engaged, your two witness dots will line up. So the key is to set these to where they line up within about the last 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of your draw cycle. If it's too soon, you put a lot of torque on your cable, which isn't good. If it's not lined up, then your rest isn't fully engaged and it won't fall away at the right time, which will cause fletching interference. So again, you want these dots to line up within the last 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of your draw cycle. And to adjust that, you can either make the adjustment down on your football clamp, or even better yet, this is a unique feature of the Vertus, is the Gator Grip cord clamp, which is on the side here. And all you do is just loosen this set screw, and then you can pull the cord in and out and adjust it to the length that you need. So like I said, if you want these two dots to line up, and if you need to shorten the timing cord, you just pull cord through. If you need to lengthen the cord, you just pull cord through that way. And then just tighten the clamp. And that's how you set the pickup point for your arrow rest.